Hey, what's up, everyone? Gaming Arts 1 here, and today I'm going to talk briefly about Battlefield 3, a game that came out back in 2011, which was over a decade ago. And it's a game that a lot of people had nothing but good things to say about it. And it's a game that has aged gracefully over time. And it's honestly hard to believe that the game's 11 years old. It's one of the best first-person shooter games that has been licensed by Electronic Arts, and we all know that game was competing against Activision's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 game, which came out the same year back in 2011. And even though Battlefield 3 was not quite as successful as Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 from 2011, it was a game that ended up becoming one of the hottest first-person shooters of that year. It was probably one of the best video games of that year, period, depending on who you ask. And if you look at the game now, it's aged gracefully over time. And honestly, it's baffling to know that Battlefield 3 has not been remade or remastered for the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X or what have you, because that's such a cool game. And a lot of people look at the most recent installment of Battlefield, which was 2042, which came out back in 2021. Even though it was a good game, there was definitely a handful of people who felt underwhelmed by it and thought that it could have been better. And a lot of people feel like the Battlefield series is not quite as popular as it was back in the day. And that's not to say that the first-person shooter genre has declined in popularity, but at the same time, it's not quite as hot as it was during the late 2000s and the early teens. It seemed like nowadays more people are into action-adventure titles or RPGs or what have you. And I think for the most part, Battlefield 3 is definitely one of those first-person shooter games that deserves a 4K remake for a current generation game system, because you look at all the positives the game had to offer, what it brought to the table. You had a decent plot. You had, I guess, cinematic quality like cutscenes along with explicit dialogue and the explosions and weaponry and all that stuff. While you were playing the game, you were listening to it. It felt like you were in a movie theater, just like watching it while you were playing the game. So I do feel that Battlefield 3 definitely had a lot to bring to the table, and a lot of people enjoyed the multiplayer game modes that was included in Battlefield 3, especially the death matches and all that stuff, which added to the overall replay value of that game. And I'm pretty sure there are some people who still play Battlefield 3 to this day, but it's shocking that EA has not made any plans to remaster Battlefield 3, because that's something that a lot of people would like to see, and a lot of people are sick of remasters of old games, because it seemed like for the most part we've been getting that with Call of Duty as of late within the past couple of years or so. But remastering Battlefield 3, I'm pretty sure, is something that many people would agree that is something that needs to happen, but I'm uncertain whether or not it's going to happen, because Electronic Arts have really made no announcements or alluded to the fact that they plan on doing that anytime in the near future.